Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and tap the like button. I will be tying a Rhyacophilidae free-living caddis larva. The hook is an Ahrex FW531 size 12. Cut a 1/32 inch strip of lead tape. Make 5 to 6 turns, then line with the hook point at the rear and leaving the hook bare just behind the eye. Build a second layer of lead, covering 2/3 of the first layer, roughly 3 turns. Using 70 denier Veevus thread and chartreuse, build a thread base, creating a cigar shape. Be sure to fill all the crevices. Add a second bobbin. I'm using 20 denier Semperfli Nano silk. To create the anal hooks, we are using the tips of 2 goose biots in brown. Secure them in place around the bend of the hook. The larvae of the Rhyacophilidae exhibit diverse feeding strategies throughout their development. In their early instar stages, they may act as collectors, gatherers, scrapers, grazers, or shredder herbivores, depending on their environmental conditions. However, as they mature, these larvae transition into free-range, engulfing predators that hunt and chase prey in fast-moving streams and rivers. What I'm using to create the gills are 2 barbs of cream ostrich marabou from Hareline. Prepare the first barb by preening back the fibers and cutting the barbules from one side. Secure it in place ahead of the anal hooks, making sure the barbules face inward. Repeat the process for the second gill structure. Rhyacophilidae larvae are free-living, meaning they do not construct cases or retreats like other caddisfly species. Instead, they cling to substrates, actively hunting for food. Their versatile feeding behavior and unique predatory lifestyle make them fascinating components of freshwater ecosystems. For the abdomen and thorax, I'm using Hareline D-Rib in light olive. I prefer the D-Rib over the V-Rib because it is softer and has more stretch. Secure the D-Rib in place along the top of the shank, all the way to the eye. And cut away the waste. Now mark the top third of the thread with a brown Copic sketch marker. Spiral wrap the D-rib forward, stretching the material for the first 2 turns and relaxing the tension for the middle 2/3, then gradually stretching the D-rib for the last few turns. This process helps complete the cigar-shaped taper. Be sure to leave spaces between each wrap. Cut away the excess. This process helps create the well-defined body segments, giving the body a beaded appearance. Using the bobbin with the chartreuse thread, we will now pull the ostrich barbs forward and trap them in the grooves on either side of the hook until we reach the 8th or 9th abdominal segment. As you can see, this creates the well-defined gills that are found on the Rhyacophilidae. They run laterally along the body. Cut away the waste on either side. At this point, we should have the thread resting between the 2nd and 3rd thoracic segment from behind the eye. To create the hind legs, we cut away 2 goose biots and tan. Secure them in place on either side of the hook. Adjust to the desired length. Typically, the Rhyacophilidae larvae have the hind legs that are the longest, center legs next longest, and the forelegs are the shortest of the 3 sets. Cut away the waste. For added durability, I put a small bead of superglue where the leg and thoracic segment merge. This isn't a necessary step, but to create variegation and a 3D effect, I mark the center of each leg with a black Copic marker. Repeat the process for the center legs. And as you can see, we have 9 segments in the abdomen, 3 segments for the thorax, and the head at the front. Repeat the process for the forelegs. Whip finish. Cut away the bobbin. Cut away the excess goose biot fibers. Now the tying portion of the fly is done. Using a brown marker, mark the head, thoracic segments, and clean up the abdomen. Most creatures in nature have the dark top or dorsal side and the lighter belly or ventral side. It's not a necessary step, but I like to bend the forelegs forward using a lighter and a pair of tweezers. For added durability and sheen, I use an Ultraflex thin UV resin and coat the head, abdomen, and thorax. Thank you for watching.